My topic for discussion today is the law of supply. Outline: we shall discuss the meaning of law of supply, schedule and diagram, and the assumptions to the law of supply. Learning outcomes: at the end of the e-module, students will be able to understand the concept of law of supply and to relate the concept of supply in real life situations. Let us see the meaning of the law of supply. Other things remaining the same, as the price of a commodity rises, its supply increases, and as the price falls, its supply declines. This implies that at a higher price, more quantity will be supplied in the market, and at a lower price, less quantity will be supplied in the market. The supply curve is the locus of all the points showing various quantities of a commodity that a producer is willing to sell at various level of prices during a given period of time, assuming no change in other factors. The law of supply can be explained with the help of a supply schedule as well as the supply curve. We have the supply schedule. As you can see, there are two parts. We have the price and the quantity supplied. As the price increases from rupees 1 to rupees 4, the quantity supplied also increases from 10 units to 25 units. Based on this schedule, we now have the supply curve diagram. We measure the quantity supplied on the x-axis, and on the y-axis we measure the price. By joining the various combinations of price and quantity supplied, we obtain an upward sloping supply curve SS. As you can see, the curve indicates a positive relationship between the price and the quantity supplied. Next, assumptions to the law of supply. The following are the various assumptions to the law of supply. First point: cost of production is unchanged. If the cost of production increases, it would mean that now the seller would hesitate to produce more and sell more in the market because of his rising cost of production. Thus, we assume that all the factor prices like that of wages, interest, rent, etc., all of them should remain constant or should not change. Second point: no change in technique of production. Now, with an improvement in the techniques of production, the cost of production will decrease, and as a result of which, the seller will be able to supply more into the market even if the prices are low. Thus, we assume that there should be no change in the techniques of production. Third point: fixed scale of production. If there is a changing scale of production, this would imply that the level of supply would also have to change irrespective of the change in the price of the commodity in the market. Fourth point: government policies are unchanged. In this case, government policies refer to various policies of taxation, trade policy, etc. So, for example, if the tax rates in the country increase to a higher level, it means that the cost of production for the seller will increase and the seller will not be able to supply more even when the prices are high in the market. Thus, we assume that government policies should remain unchanged. Fifth point: no change in transport cost. If the transport cost decreases, it would imply that now the cost of production will decrease and the seller will be able to supply more, he will be able to produce more into the market even when the prices are very low. This would again contradict the law of supply, and thus we assume that there should be no change in the transport cost. Sixth point, no speculation. Speculation in this case refers to future expectations about changes in the price of a commodity. If the seller expects the price of a commodity to rise in the future, the seller would want to supply more in the future rather than in the present, even when the prices are high in the present. So we assume that there should be no speculation, no future expectations about the change in the price, as it will contradict the law of supply. Seventh point, the prices of other goods are held constant. If the seller expects that the prices of other commodities in the market are going to rise in the future, he will find it more attractive to produce the commodities whose prices are rising rather than the given commodity under consideration. So as a result of which, he will now divert his resources in the production of those goods or commodities whose prices are rising into the market. And because of this, the given product under consideration, the production of that commodity will fall into the market. So these are the 7 assumptions to the law of supply. This is a glossary of terms, some important terms, concepts which you can read upon and try to understand and have a better understanding on these various concepts. We have like supply, price, quantity, cost, production, market. All of this was discussed in the previous slides. So in this module, we have discussed the meaning of the law of supply. Then we saw what is the supply curve, how the supply curve can be derived from the schedule, which has 2 important components, that is the price and the quantity supplied. Then we derived the supply curve from the schedule. Then we also discussed about the various assumptions to the law of supply, how each of these assumptions are very important for the law of supply to materialize. All of these 7 assumptions should be constant, they should not change, so that the law of supply can actually materialize. These are my references which you can use to read more about this topic.